Okay, eyes and ears up. See ya. See ya. Okay, you guys are very lucky today to have a very talented, knowledgeable, fun speaker come to our classroom.
Hello.
So, he is an author, he is a chef, he is a, I don't know what you call your video.
It's a guy who likes to make YouTube videos.
Loves to make videos. So today, he is going to present to you his trip across Canada and maybe a few other things he throws in there.
All right, grade fives, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, I met a few guys on the way in the door. For those of you who probably saw my name right after science, it's Kix, and I'll be here for the rest of the afternoon. So, as Mrs. T said, I've done a lot of traveling. And one of the cool things I got to do was a couple summers ago, I drove through all of Canada. I took a dirt bike, and I rode it through all the provinces and territories across Canada, and I went to meet lots of the people and sort of learn how different people live in different parts of the world, which for me was really neat because what I learned is that not very far away from where you guys live, people live very differently in very different parts of the world. And what I really wanted to know mostly is what kind of like foods people ate and what kind of like cuisine and interesting sort of cultural habits they had. And so I went to each place across the country and just met people on the way and got to learn a little bit about them. So we'll talk about that today. We'll talk a little bit about different other parts of the world too. And then I also brought this large box of fruit snacks, which we'll learn about later. It might become part of the presentation too. Very exciting. You like fruit snacks? Is that what this clapping's for? Okay, oh, I was wondering. Like, that's exciting. All right. Well, I like snacks too. It's all about food, so I thought I'd bring some food as well. As Mrs. T might have alluded to too, I wrote a book as well. Sorry, it's not really like a grade 5 book. It's more like your parents' book. But I did a different trip one time where I drove. I'll take you over to this map right here. I'm going to use this really cool ruler. So somewhere in here, we are right around this part of the country right there. So I drove the motorbike that's on the front page of that, or the front cover of that book. And I drove it all through the United States and down through Mexico and Central America, up to Colombia, and then this is all South America here, and drove it along here through Peru and Bolivia, and up into Brazil, into the Amazon, and then down through Chile and Argentina, and all the way to the very bottom here. And then I caught a flight over to there actually, and then back to here. And so that was just one trip I did. So I did a bunch of pictures of different places across the country. We're gonna play a little Q&A as we go. Does anyone wanna guess where in the world this picture might be from? I saw your hand first, you can go first.
Halifax?
Ooh, super close, pretty close actually.
Actually, I can say Antarctica, but Argentina?
Argentina, oh, it's in Canada. Sorry, I should have been more clear. This one's from Canada. In Canada?
Is it by St. John's?
Pretty close, pretty close. It's in Newfoundland. So it's in Newfoundland is where the picture was. So end of the country. Pretty cool. So in that part of the world, they live mainly along the ocean. Well, it's an island, so they live obviously surrounded by the ocean. Pretty interesting. And lots of people live in these like colorful little houses by the sea. Very beautiful, great place. Anybody been to Newfoundland before or from there? You been there?
Yeah.
Oh, you from there?
I think I've been there.
You don't know if you've been there now? You're just like, maybe?
I think I have.
Oh, wasn't that memorable for you? Oh. Yes, sir.
Because you took a flight from down there up there, what happened to the motorbike?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The different trip altogether. So that trip was a totally different one. So actually, that's a very sad story. But I sold the motorcycle at the end of that trip after like 2.5 years together.
Yeah,
I would have liked to keep it, and I was going to fly it back, but it didn't make the cut. Very sad story. It's in this book actually, but the motorbike is still in Argentina as far as I know. Didn't come back. So go on. Question about this?
Yeah. Wait, is that a dirt bike or a motorcycle?
Well, they're all motorcycles, but this one's a dirt bike. So this is a 250cc. I don't know how much you know about bikes, but it's like a smaller. So we'll go up maybe later, possibly. I have another motorbike outside. It's a lot bigger than this one, but the one I took was a dirt bike, and so it's like it's little. It's not like this little, but it's pretty tiny.
Yeah, that looks like a big.
So this one's a little bigger. So this bike here is the one that you were actually asking about, which is the exact same picture that's on the front of here. So the monkey, good question. I don't know if you can see the monkey on the monkey is somewhere right in here. I don't know if you'll detail, but yes, there was a monkey that came with me on the entire trip. Good question. Who said that actually? You said that? Oh, how'd you know there was a monkey? Because of the cover?
No,
I'm like, this is a clever group, actually. Yes, there was a monkey on there. I do have the monkey. That monkey's been to a lot of places in the world. It's a very well-traveled monkey.
Do you still have it to this day?
Yeah, still got it.
Do you have it right now?
No, it's at my house, but I do have it. Yeah. And so this is the bike that I took down to Argentina. So it's a little bigger motorcycle than the one I rode across Canada. And as you can see, it was set up a bit different than maybe you'd see a bike here. This is set up for like adventure and camping. So I have spare gasoline there because there's not always gasoline everywhere. This is like camping equipment here in the back. This is where I keep all of my cooking and food, that kind of stuff. And here's all the clothing. And so I basically was living off of this bike for probably about 2.5 years. So everywhere I went, me and this bike, yeah. So how old are you guys now? Like, what's 11? So say, okay, so somewhere in that range. So for example, maybe you're in grade 5 right now. So if you've done the same trip, you come back like the end of grade 7. Like 2 years of your life would be on there. And I actually met quite a few, not quite a few, but a number of families from different parts of the world who were with their kids in maybe, not on bikes, in like RVs or motorhomes or something, who were traveling around as well. So different people took their families and it was like a huge road trip. So I'm gonna talk for a bit and I'll get back to you in a minute, if that's all right. So this is just a quick intro video I took and videotaped people I met all on the way through Canada and did interviews and stuff with them. And so this is just like a really short video sort of highlighting a few of the things I did on the trip across Canada. So I'll just show you, it's like only 30 seconds long or so.
Hi, I'm Kix. I love food, travel, and motorbikes. This year, I wanted to see my own backyard, Canada. So I decided to ride the second largest country in the world, coast to coast, on a 250cc dirt bike. It was an incredible opportunity to see the real Canada from inside the kitchens of real Canadians. These are the people and foods that make up this incredible country. Welcome to the Cooked in Canada motorcycle adventure.
How much likes does it have?
Not 1 million yet. We already talked about that. We'll skip one here. So is anyone in this room from or was born from a different place in Canada? You were? Where were you born? Or where are you from? Or before here?
I was born in Manitoba.
Oh, Manitoba.
Yeah, and we moved into Alberta twice, and British Columbia twice, and Manitoba twice.
Oh, you've been around.
I think the only one is Liam. He's not here this afternoon. But
He's from
where was
Bolivia.
he from, you guys?
Bolivia.
He's from Bolivia?
Yeah.
He's not here today?
Well, he's in the office.
Oh, shoot. I've never met anyone from Bolivia in Canada. I think I've met a lot of Bolivians, but not many here in Canada. And Bolivia was actually one of my more favorite places in the world I've been to. So we're going to explore the country today as a whole. But yeah, if you're from Manitoba, right over here, and we're going to go there very shortly. So who in this room likes food? Everybody? Oh yeah, me too. Love it. Thank you, thank you. Who likes weird food, like kind of crazy foods? Okay, what's like the weird? You can just yell it out. But what's like the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Fries with a milkshake.
Fries with a milkshake. Grasshopper? What'd you say? Barbecue grasshopper? Oh yeah. Grasshopper also? What, sorry? Grasshopper?
Oh, I made a frog egg.
You ate a frog egg? Just one? Oh, how was it?
It was like I don't want to say a bubble.
Okay, we'll do 2 more weird ones. You, sir?
Chocolate milk with fries.
Chocolate milk with fries? Okay, not super crazy. And back in the room, you with the glasses on?
Me?
Yeah.
Grass.
You ate grass?
Oh, I think.
How was it?
I think hay.
Yeah?
Grass.
Oh.
I think hay.
All right. Well, we're gonna. Okay, that's why we'll skip that one out. So we're gonna explore some of the sort of slightly different foods in Canada that people eat on a regular basis that you guys may or may not have tried before. I have a feeling that you probably haven't. I thought they were pretty interesting, and I've tried lots of different things in lots of different parts of the world, and I didn't know Canada had so many sort of interesting foods. So first we're gonna go up to. I'll go back here. So we're gonna go. I started here. And first thing I went to is into British Columbia. and then made my way up in the province, and we ended up in a place way up over to Haida Gwaii first, and then up in Prince Rupert and Terrace. And there's an area up here called the Nass Valley, and there's a First Nations reserve up there, and it's there's a place called 𝗔𝗂𝗁 that sort of ends at the water down here. Sorry, it's up a little bit further. And before 2003, there was no roads there. So people who lived there, if they wanted to leave or come and go, they could only go by boat, or they could only fly. You couldn't drive there. But now there's a road that goes in there, you can drive there, you can go up there and visit. Some super cool people in there. I met this guy, Lonnie. Great guy, really interesting guy. So this is behind Lonnie's house. So this is a giant smoker. It's like the size, you could probably fit like 2, what are these called? Pods or something? Clusters, yeah. You probably fit like 2 clusters inside of Lonnie's smokehouse. So for Lonnie, he doesn't just barbecue, doesn't just grill, he smokes meat behind his house. So this right here is the alderwood he uses. It's sort of deep red color. It goes there, it's really smoky, and he hangs the meat up there, and he smokes it and preserves it. So does anybody want to guess what this meat is that's smoking in Lonnie's smoker that they eat on a fairly regular basis? And I've never heard of it before. I actually saw your hand go up and you haven't gone yet.
No.
Oh, you don't want to guess? What's your name, sir?
Bison?
Bison?
Yeah.
That is a great guess. Very practical, but not this one. I've heard from you yet. What's your guess?
I don't know how I'm gonna say this, but it's something like bison, like a yak.
Like a yak? Oh, good guess too. We'll do one more. Who else? Oh, you in the back, sir?
Boar.
A boar? Good guess too. Okay, so those are all like super good guesses, but that's not what it is.
Is it caribou?
It is smoked
Buffalo.
sea lion.
What? What? So mean.
I want to try that.
So sea lion, yeah. So where they live up there, they live on the ocean. They harvest things from the sea, and that's mainly what they eat. So they eat crabs, and they eat lots of fish, but one of the things they also eat is sea lion, yeah, salmon, that kind of thing. So they'll go out and they'll hunt like really big sea lions, they'll bring it back, and they'll divvy it up, and then they'll lay it here inside of this giant smoker, and they'll smoke the meat and preserve it. And then in the community, they have, I think there was 4 smokers lined up in the community, and so the workers will come in, they'll cut up the meat, they'll lay it out to smoke, and then they'll distribute it amongst the community so they can share with everyone. So it's not just for maybe one person's house or one person's family, but they're going to actually share it amongst the whole community. So what they did here is they smoked the meat, and they also took the flippers of the sea lion, which is kind of interesting. And you know when you have like pickles and cheese and crackers, something like that? Yeah. So they actually they pickle the flipper of the sea lion, and then they eat it later with like cheese and crackers. So it's just a different way of going. Anyone have a question about this specifically, or a story you're gonna tell me? Which is it? Just a question?
Did you get to try any of it?
Yeah, so I tried it, yeah, for sure. Sorry, I should probably relate the flavor to you while I'm up here. So we're trying this. I went back to Lonnie's house. I met Lonnie's family, had me over for dinner. And I told them I wanted to try the sea lion because I never had it before. And we had smoked sea lion ribs the night at his house, actually. Like the big, and they look like a beef rib. I'm sure you probably had beef ribs in here. They're really big and meaty. And I was eating it. I was trying to decide what it tasted like because I kind of recognized the flavor. I was really surprised it actually tastes a lot like bison, which was very surprising to me. I thought it would taste more like fish, but it tasted more like bison. So anyways, pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna skip on the next one here. I'll pick and choose questions as we go because if I answer all of them, I'm gonna be here for like 3 days. So
It kind of looks like bacon.
go. Yeah, it's really fat. These are really fatty actually, like bacon.
Kill the sea lion.
With a gun in the ocean. So these are the 4 smokers in the community where they all the community pitches in and does all the work. So this is just in the center of town. So maybe like beside your school, for example, over there, there'd be 4 large community smokehouses. They'd go in there, they would smoke the different meats. It's not necessarily always sea lion, it just was when I was there. But there could also be caribou, and there could be deer and bear and that kind of thing.
Bison.
And bison, yeah. So it's really, really interesting sort of place. And then these are the ribs I had. So this is the sea lion rib here. They're huge, they're delicious. And then this behind it actually, this is a fish oil. And so they also take a fish called an 𝗔𝗁cie, which is it's like a little fish about this big. And they steam them and the fat comes out of them because they're really greasy. And this is actually the fat of the fish. And what they do with that is they use it as a condiment, kind of like butter or margarine sort of thing. And they put it on the potatoes or the vegetables. And it actually tastes a lot like smoked salmon, which I was very surprised by. So it was also like pretty tasty.
Yeah, that was orange juice.
I thought you were going to say
Yeah, no, definitely not orange juice. You'd be very surprised if you took a big swill of that in the morning. You'd be like, man, this isn't orange juice. So after that, we made our way up to the Northwest Territories. So we went a little further up in the country. And I went to, so here's Alberta, we crossed into here. It's a little tricky to see. But has anyone here been to Yellowknife before, the Northwest Territories? You've been there?
Once.
Once? And?
Auntie.
I was like 3 years old.
Oh, so you sort of a little tricky to remember the highlights. So where's up there? Yeah, so Alberta, up in the Yellowknife and Hay River around here. So a very cool place. Also, a lot of First Nations people live in this part of the country as well. So lots of interesting culture, lots of interesting heritage up there, lots of interesting foods. And I met this guy, Donovan, and he has this hunter's tent in the woods, and also right over like on this side here, he has a big teepee set up there. And so he's a big dude. He's like 6'4". He's bigger than me. Really nice guy. Took me out to his hunter's cabin in the woods and showed me some of the foods they eat around the Northwest Territories. And so we went back inside of his teepee and we started smoking some meats here. So there's actually a bunch of different meats on here. And we'll start with one you probably, isn't a meat, just a treat. You might have seen this before, this piece of bread that's on the stick here. Does anyone know what that is? You just yell it out.
Bannock.
Bannock, boom, nailed it. That's what it is, roasted bannock. Good guess. And so there's a few different proteins on here. He'd hunted most of them, or his family had. And so we're back in the woods. I had to ride my dirt bike through like the muskeg and a bunch of water and stuff to get back to his place. And then we smoked this giant rib. And I think someone might have said what this was already earlier. Any guesses? You just yell it out.
Bison. Caribou.
Caribou, boom, that's what it is, caribou rib. Has anyone here had caribou before? You've had caribou?
Yeah.
And? What'd you think? Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. It's like maybe like deer or like a sort of a leaner meat. It was pretty good, really smoky, quite delicious. And then on the back here is something I'm going to do. The next picture is going to be a little closer shot up. It's a little something else. So here's part of it here, and this is part of it there. These are the same thing. Anyone want to guess? You just yell out. What do you think it is?
Squirrel.
Rabbit or squirrel? And what'd you say?
I said bacon.
Bacon?
It's like bacon.
Rabbit, squirrel, bacon? No. So this one, something else I never tried before.
Rat.
He personally has eaten it quite a lot. What'd you say?
Rat.
Close. He's eaten it quite a lot.
Mouse.
It's a muskrat.
Oh, muskrat.
Yeah, so that, yeah.
Thank you.
So this is a muskrat, and that is the muskrat meat. So essentially this was the fur, that was it. They removed this from the other. So they take it, they clean it out, they barbecue it, eat it up.
Do they use the fur?
Use the fur for everything, yeah. So the fur was actually really cool. He said that the main thing with the fur is they'd make mitts out of it because it's about like this size. And so they'll clean it up, dry it out, and turn it inside out, and it'll become a pair of mitts. So they'd use like everything. Everything else. They don't just chuck it out, it gets used up.
I shot a muskrat
Everything.
with a 12 gauge shot.
And did you keep it? Did you clean it up and eat it?
It was like in the, on this one platform, like it was like way out in the water, and I shot it, and then my brother got to shoot the other one.
Oh, next time you have to save it and take it back to your house and get your dad to
And it was
barbecue
like,
it.
If I tried stepping in it, and it was like that deep a muskeg.
Yeah, a little tricky. Muskrat and the muskeg. And then this, so the muskrat doesn't have a lot of fat on it. And so they live up in the north, it's really cold, they need lots of calories. If you just eat the protein or the meat only, you're not gonna have a lot of calories. And so they try and find a way to get as many calories out of the animal as possible, because the animals up there aren't very fatty, they're usually pretty lean. So this is actually the muskrat tail we're eating there. And so they take the tail off, they barbecue it, and then there's like kind of a little bit of light fur on it, you scrape it off, and then they nibble on this here. So it's like, yeah. Not Mrs. T's favorite dish, but very interesting.
Interesting. I would try it.
It was kind of interesting. So if you ever had like a pork rib or something like that, it's like sort of like the gristly part of like a pork rib, that kind of thing. Yes.
Did you go to the family?
Yeah, I did those. I don't have any stories from there, but I did go through there. So next up, does anyone recognize these jerseys? You do?
Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Nailed it. Is anyone here a Rough Riders fan?
No.
Hand goes down. You are Rough Riders fan? Yeah. Are your family Rough Riders fans too?
My grandma and grandma
Yeah.
are.
Shh. All right, yeah, okay, second. All right, next part.
Teachers over there is.
Okay. Yeah, so the Rough Riders fans are like the most enthusiastic fans I've ever seen in my life anywhere in the world. Super loud, super crazy, super great people. So I went into Saskatchewan next. So we came down from Northwest Territories over here and into Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan has a lot of very interesting culture there. Lots of different kinds of people that aren't necessarily from this part of the world.
I've been to
One of them,
Saskatchewan.
yeah, it's great, super cool place. And so one of the,
Visit my grandma.
oh yeah, it's a great place, pretty cool. So this group of people there, they're a group called the Doukhobors. And so they believe in a slightly different lifestyle than I'd say most Albertans believe in. So they're mostly vegetarians for the most part. They don't eat meat, anything like that. They sort of like to work together. They don't believe in using animals for any of the work. And so what's actually happening here is when they were, this is an old picture obviously, this is from the 1800s, but this is a plow. So maybe some of your parents are farmers, they're plowing the fields right now, but instead of using a tractor, which probably didn't exist, or using like maybe like cattle or an ox or something along those lines to pull up. They actually used the people hooked up to the plow to walk through and plow the fields because they didn't believe in hurting the animal or using the animals or eating the animals or anything like that. So very different way of life than what we do things here for sure. And then that is not a picture from the same time. And then I met these people there. These are Doukhobors, a little more modern day. And they cook things up. This is called the 𝗞𝗅. This is a bit of a far out reference, but it's kind of like a big pierogi. And so they make these like big pierogies and stuff them with like cheese. Yeah, they're so good, but it's like a fluffy pierogi. Super delicious. Manitoba, next on the list, Manitoba. Where are we headed to? So I came across Saskatchewan, rolled over into Manitoba. Anyone know who that is? Anyone know where Winnie the Pooh originated? Manitoba. Winnie the Pooh is actually from Manitoba. He's a Canadian character. So there's a place.
Did not go there.
That's super cool. So there's a place called White River that you cross through. Oh, sorry, that should say, that's wrong.
Manitoba.
Where Winnie the Pooh comes from. Super cool dude.
Oh, I don't know that works.
And then, does anyone know this culture at all? Does anyone recognize this outfit or this dress?
No. I feel like I should.
Make tea.
Nope.
It ranks in Hutterite colony.
Hutterite colony, yeah, you got it, sir. That's right. Hutterite colony. Yes, I met a guy in.
I was like,
Yeah, you probably. I'm sure everyone here has probably crossed paths with a Hutterite somewhere in Alberta. They farm a lot around here. Very big, lots of people.
I've been on a
Hutterite colony.
colony quite a bit because my mom knows a guy that's an ex-Hutterite.
Yeah, super nice people, really good. So I met a guy in Manitoba who took me out and met some of his friends. So they were in the Hutterite colony. So they live in, again, a very different fashion than we live here. So they live as a community. They live in usually large groups. Maybe it's like 50 or 100 or 200 people. They live together and they do everything on a big scale. So that day I showed up and they were making turkey pot pies that day. They were making like 1 or 2 or 3. They were making like hundreds of turkey pot pies, enough to like feed the whole family. Plus they could sell a few more afterwards. And I met some people there. They taught me how to make them at the end. So this is the finished product. They went through. They have a huge turkey barn out back. Like I would say there's 3,000 turkeys in this barn. They harvest them up and then make them into pies. And this is the pies you made at the end. It was pretty neat actually. And this is inside of their fridge. So instead of maybe your fridge at home, you open the doors like this and there'll be like chocolate milk and a candy and some snacks, whatever. In their fridge, it's massive. You walk inside the fridge like in a restaurant and you go in there and you're like, okay, we need 10 jars of pickled eggs for dinner. We need whatever, 6 cans or 6 jars of beans. We need this huge bag of onions. We need 6 watermelons because they're feeding a lot of people. So it's a very different culture than here. You wouldn't just be feeding your small group or like one person. You have like a huge number of people all living together. Question?
So is it just kind of like a cold room?
Yeah, cold room, but it's colder than a cold room.
Because I like at my grandparents, we have a cold room.
Under the ground that stays like ground temperature, or has like a fridge, the cold blows cold air inside of it.
Like at Costco.
Yeah, like Costco. Yeah, you've been to the Costco fridge. That's what it is. It's like the Costco fridge.
Did you go to Otterburn down here or something?
Otterburn?
Yeah.
Is that a place?
It's a small town.
Oh no, I went to some small towns, but I don't remember that specific name. Otterburn. Does anyone know this province? You already went a bazillion times. Blue dress. What's your name? Oh, you don't have your hand up?
I don't know.
I just go like this.
Pink dress with cherries. Did you have your hand up? No. Heart shirt.
I don't know.
Don't have your hand up. Hurley shirt.
Ontario?
Ontario. Nailed it.
That's what I was gonna say.
Boom. Next on the list, Ontario. So Ontario is a massive province. Beautiful place. Lots of lakes. Very cool. So same thing. We rolled across here, came through Manitoba, and came through Ontario. So I met this person. Oh, I just already met this person. That's the next slide. Does anyone know who this person is? Terry Fox. Yeah, you got it.
She's in our gym.
So he's in your gym, like a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like there's 4 banners.
Yeah, Terry Fox, great dude. Terry is not actually, he's not from Ontario, but there's a large statue on the side of the road because of where he sort of finished up his race. So this is on the side of the road in Ontario. So there's a big statue of Terry Fox and all the inspiration he did for the country and all the great things he did to help raise money for cancer. He's not from there, but this is close to where he finished running at. And so if you're ever driving through Ontario and you're on the Trans-Canada Highway, there's a very good chance you'll be able to see this along your route. But what I did meet is I met this lady. Her name is Sister Nicole. So Sister Nicole is a Catholic nun, as you might recognize from this big cross right here. And I want to learn also how people don't just like eat food with their family and with their friends and that kind of thing, but what they do for each other. So Sister Nicole dedicated her entire life to helping other people. She's done many different things. This stage of her life, she'd been at the Blue Door Scoop Kitchen for about, I think it was 14 years at this point. So does anyone know what a soup kitchen is?
Yeah, with me.
You go so many times, I'm gonna go with you.
A kitchen that makes soup.
Do you know who they make the soup for?
For other people.
Do you know what kind of other people? Like what demographic of society?
No.
People in need, yeah, for sure. Pretty much. Usually it's homeless people or people who are transitioning or maybe low on funds at the time. And so there's usually a soup kitchen or something similar in most communities across Canada. Not all of them, but most of them. Definitely larger cities for sure. You're gonna see a soup kitchen. And so Sister Nicole works at the soup kitchen called the Blue Door. Amazing lady. She was almost 80 when I went there, and she was like a 30-year-old, which probably seems old to you too. Let's say like a 15-year-old who just like had tons of energy. And every day she got up, she went to the Blue Door Soup Kitchen. She got handed a bunch of donations, whatever it was. Maybe it was chicken breasts, maybe it was burgers, maybe it was potatoes, maybe it was blueberries, and she had to make something new every day for about 150 people who just showed up at the door and needed something to eat and depended on her and her volunteers. So I met this lovely lady here. She spent the day, I showed up, asked her what we were making. She said, I'm not sure yet, let's go see what we have. We walked around and we picked through the ingredients. We ended up making some bread pudding. We ended up making chili that day. Very great lady. Without people like her, people who need help at a time like that would not be able to get food to get them through to their next sort of maybe time in life or their next meal or depending where they're headed from there. Great lady. Probably. I've had this one for like 10 years, so there's a very good chance I have the same bracelet. So this is the people at the Blue Door Soup Kitchen. Really nice people. There's all the volunteers there. And they were nice enough to spend the day with me, showing me kind of like what they do, how they make food, what it is they do to feed other people. It was great. So if in your elder years, you ever have the opportunity to volunteer, to help someone out, or to maybe make food at a soup kitchen, give away your skills, or sorry, show up your skills, what you know how to cook, I'm sure they'd be happy to have you volunteer. There's a place like this in Red Deer. If there's nothing here, I don't know if there's one in the Combe or not. I doubt there's one in Clive. But if you give them the opportunity, it's a cool place to get to know people. Anyone know this province? Anybody hasn't gone? You haven't gone in a little while.
Quebec.
Quebec, great. Has anyone here been to Quebec before? Usually been to Quebec? Yeah. Where to? Do you know?
I've been to the capital.
Like Quebec City?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you, sir?
No, I don't.
You don't know where you went to? You just were there? You been there?
We're not there, but I forgot to tell you about this when we were passing BC. But I don't know.
Go fast.
But we go to Kelowna every year, and
Yeah.
last year we went to Victoria.
Oh, cool. All right, back to Quebec. Does anybody here speak French?
I know what
Well, your hand almost went up there. Yeah, what words do you know? You don't know? You don't even know one word? You put your hand up. You don't even know one?
I know a word.
Well, you're on first. What do you know?
I know bonjour, and then cafe and coffee are like the same but switch.
Pretty close, yeah.
And then I know some other ones because my grandparents, or like my great auntie and my nanny, like which is my grandma,
Yeah.
they're French.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You know some French?
Croissant.
Croissant, good one, good one. You know some French?
I used to go to a French one.
Oh, so you must know a little bit of French then?
Yeah, I was in like.
Do you want to say like, hello, my name is, or something like that?
Say your name. Bonjour.
Bonjour, je m'appelle
I know how to say bonjour.
au revoir.
And then
Pretty good.
like the one I think it was like something for these, but I forgot.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so Quebec is the only place in Canada who predominantly speaks French. Obviously, you guys know the country is bilingual, so they recognize Canada, they recognize English and French as like the two main languages. But Quebec is the only one who mainly speaks French. So if you ever go there, they will probably be able to speak to you in English depending on where you go to, but if you go outside of the main cities, it's usually just French. So it helps to know a few words to learn, but obviously if you don't know them, you can probably figure it out. Great place, really cool. I would highly recommend going to check out Quebec, especially if you wanted to go on like sort of somewhere different and unusual where things feel so much different because the language is different, the words are different. So that obviously is right here, cruise through Ontario, over to Quebec. And Anyone know what this is? Maple syrup, yeah, you got it. Actually, I had maple syrup this morning. It's the first thing I had today was maple syrup. Maple syrup is delicious. So Quebec actually makes 70% of the world's maple syrup supply. There's also 30%-ish that comes from Vermont and Ontario. I think that's where the other 30% is made up at, but mostly from Quebec. So I always heard that people in Quebec put maple syrup on everything, and they drink lots of maple syrup. Everything's about maple syrup. I thought it was kind of a joke until I went there and realized they put maple syrup on everything. It goes on everything, all kinds of things. So this is actually Mrs. T's niece, if the math adds up there. Third cousin? Okay. Relative of Mrs. T's. So I was lucky enough that, does anyone actually, we should have this earlier, does anyone know my relation to Mrs. T? Like why I actually know her?
Because,
Yeah? Evelyn? Everly? Everly, sorry.
Miss T's sister is your wife?
Boom, nailed it, exactly.
Knew it.
Good guess, nice work. So this is their cousins, and so I ended up at their cousin's place in Quebec, and they toured me around and showed me all about maple syrup and all the maple syrupy things that they do there. Anyone know what this dish is?
Is that French fries?
French fries, but more than that, it's, just yell it out. Poutine, yeah, exactly. So they call it poutine. They don't call it poutine. We call it poutine because we don't know how to say it properly, but it's actually poutine is how they say it. This one is like a super over-the-top one. So I'm at a place called 𝗵𝗁𝗂𝗁, also a sugar shack. Does anyone know what happens at a sugar shack?
I've been to
You know where a sugar shack?
There's like a lot of sugar, like a lot of sugary foods and stuff.
Yep, sort of. A lot of maple syrupy foods. And so they take and they harvest all the maple syrup from the bush. They bring it inside the shack, and maple syrup actually comes out more like watery, maybe like your drink right here. Is this a pop?
It's a slushy.
Yeah, so if you took that slushy and maybe like boiled it and reduced it so some less water was in it, it would become almost like a syrupy sugar. Same with maple syrup. So maple syrup is like kind of watery when it comes out of the tree, and then they boil it down, boil it down, boil it down, and then eventually becomes the syrup. And so this is the classic poutine, but with a little bit extra. So there's fries in here, and then they actually put like maple sausage in here. And then this is scrambled eggs. They scrambled in maple syrup. That's how they cooked it. And they put it on top. And then they put the cheese curds on top. And then they put the gravy on top. And that's me eating the poutine. Oops. You could work from both sides.
Like my great auntie and my nanny, they were born in Montreal.
Oh, Montreal. Oh, cool. Yeah, great place. And so if you go, yeah, the whole thing's about food, man. I love it. I love the food. So if you ever end up in Quebec, for any reason, I would highly recommend you get your hands on some maple syrup. If you can go to like a sugar shack or somewhere that they harvest it from the trees, they put this sort of like spike in the tree and they twist it in like that. And they put a little bucket in there and drips underneath. You've probably seen pictures of it. You probably learned about it.
A little thing in there, like a little tap.
Tap, yep, exactly.
And then push the little lever, and then they have like a tube, or they just let it drip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what happens. So it's great. Quebec's a really cool place. You should definitely give them the opportunity. Go check it out. Does anyone know what this province is? A little one between Quebec and, well, we'll get to these other ones, but a little one in the corner there. Yeah? Boom. Oh, no, sorry, that's not Nova Scotia. That is
None of it?
New Brunswick. You have a question?
Look over there.
Manitoba
Yeah, Manitoba has that's a good point. Yes, Manitoba, in the south of Manitoba, has a very high French population.
I lived in Central, so they do some in Central.
Yeah, yeah.
French.
Great point. Yeah, there is a population of French in Manitoba. You're very, very good, very well learned. Yeah, so New Brunswick is like, the name is usually bigger than the province almost. They cram, this is Nova Scotia, or sorry, New Brunswick right in here. Really cool place. So in New Brunswick, they have lots of forests, lots of wildernessy things. They eat a lot of moose. There's tons of moose there. Pretty cool place. And there is a culture of Canadians who live there who I actually didn't know a lot about until I met them in person. But does anyone know this flag? It's a tricky one. It's not a country flag. It's not a provincial flag. It's it's a cultural flag. Any guesses, all? Whoa, pretty good. Do you know what the France flag looks like?
Yes.
It looks pretty close to that. It's almost identical.
Green instead of blue, I'm pretty sure. No. For when to make sense?
That's a pretty good guess, actually. Anybody else? So yeah, good guess. That is actually, this is the French flag to a T, with the exception of this star has been added to the flag.
There's a dog.
So this group, no, it won't be on that. Maybe, but I highly doubt it. because it's sort of like a culture flag. So these are Acadian Canadians. I think you guys learned about Acadians. Did you learn about Acadian school? No, not at all. Acadian Canadians. And so the Acadians were a group of people that came over from a place called Acadie, I think is how you pronounce it properly, in Europe, from France. Came over to Canada, 1700s. They populated maybe I'll go back to this map actually. So they populated sort of this region over here on the edge of New Brunswick. And they lived there. And then there was a big war between the British and the French and blah, blah, blah. It didn't go over very well. And they started to kick them all out of the country. They wanted to get rid of all the Acadians because they were different. Bad idea. Acadians didn't want to leave, so they fought back. They tried to keep their land. And they eventually got sort of dispersed around the country. Some went back to France, some stayed in Canada, some went down to the US. Anybody know what this party is in the US? It's like a big festival they have in the US every year in a place called New Orleans.
Why does it look like that? A clown festival?
Close. What, sorry?
Scary.
Scary party, no way, that's a big clown.
It looks like a jester. The one in the back.
So it's called Mardi Gras. They have a big party every year in New Orleans called Mardi Gras. So in New Orleans, the Acadians, back in 1755 or something like that, they got dispersed around the country and they sent a lot of Acadians, French-speaking, down to New Orleans. And down there, there's a population of people, they speak a language called Creole. It's sort of a French-English mix. Very different accent, a little tricky to understand. But those people are originally Canadians. You have a question?
They look kind of scary.
Who, the people or the clown? Well, the clown, yeah, it's just like a big festival.
Clown in the back.
These people are super nice. They're really great. So these are Acadians. They're not French Canadian. They're not French, but they are Canadian, but they're Acadian Canadians. And so I'd actually met these people originally from Canada, and I didn't know they were Acadians. Didn't know we had Acadians. Met them down here in Costa Rica like 7 years earlier. And it was in Costa Rica that I learned about Canadian Acadians. And then 7 years later, I ended up on their doorstep. And they taught me all about what it was like to be Acadian, speak Acadian French. Very interesting people. Very friendly too. So next up, does anyone know this little province and you were like the top 2 guessers. You were the top 3 guessers. Okay, you had your hand up first.
Newfoundland?
Ooh, close. Not Newfoundland.
Newfoundland up.
Yeah.
None of it?
None of it? Nope. Close.
Nova Scotia?
Ooh, close. It's like 3 words in one.
PIE?
PEI, yeah. Prince Edward Island.
West said
You got it.
West, yeah. He said that.
What?
He just said that.
Yeah, he did.
What do you mean? You when you had your hand up?
No.
Oh, you yelled it out?
After,
Oh,
after.
well, sorry. You already had your chance. So yes, Prince Edward Island. So a good team effort. Yeah, Prince Edward Island. So little island, little small, little place in the other country. Beautiful place. So you might have known Prince Edward Island has red sand beaches. Anyone ever heard of Anne of Green Gables in this room? A little bit older. You've heard of Anne of Green Gables? Oh, really? Oh.
I know.
Has anyone read like the books or stuff? Yeah?
I have a manga book.
A Mongo book? What's a Mongo book?
A manga book? It's like a Japanese book.
Oh, cool. Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. What's right?
No, I was just saying same.
Oh, you have the same book?
Not the same.
Oh, but a manga book? Yeah, cool. So that's where Anne of Green Gables is from, or the inspiration of Anne of Green Gables is from Prince Edward Island. So they have these red sand beaches there, surrounded by ocean. To get there from the mainland of New Brunswick, you take this like super long bridge. I think it's 11.2 or 12.2 kilometers long. So you drive across this bridge for like 20 minutes over the ocean, and then you line up in PEI. Anyone here ever heard of Cavendish French fries or Cavendish hash browns, Cavendish potatoes? If you ever go to, you've heard of Cavendish the place?
Well, I don't really know, but it's
Cavendish?
Oh, Cavendish. Anybody? Anyways, if you ever go to Costco maybe, and you're like in the freezer area, you can go look at the boxes, and there'll be something that'll say Cavendish. So it's a family. They grow up.
How many slides do you have in your
How many slides do I have? Are you getting bored?
No.
No.
It's just
Oh, a few. I got a few more.
Sir had his hand up.
I hadn't.
Oh, you've had your hand up so many times. I've almost haven't even noticed because it's like I don't know if it's gone down yet.
I know.
What's your question, Dexter?
I know what it is.
No, what is? Cavendish? What is it?
A family-owned business.
Yeah, you got it. And you know what they grow mainly?
They mainly grow.
They make French fries out of them.
Potatoes.
Boom, good answer. Potatoes, yes, they make Cavendish potatoes. So Prince Edward Island, if you're ever at they mostly come from PEI. I'm sure they're grown in other places too, but they mostly come from PEI. So if you're ever at Costco with your family or even like the grocery store and just like looking around the frozen foods aisle, you might see hash browns or whatever from Prince Edward Island. Very cool place. What they also grow there, does anyone know what these tiny little things in this boat might be? They're not fish. I'll give you, anyone's gonna guess fish? No guess. Let's see, let's see who hasn't asked in a while. You haven't asked in a while.
Mussels?
Mussels, ooh, so close. Good guess, great guess. You, back in class, what's your name? You were just like stretching like this and waving? All right. You?
Clams?
Clams, ooh, good guess too, very close. This side of the room?
Crawfish?
Crawfish, oh, pretty good guess too. Okay, we'll do one more. You?
Razor clam?
Razor clam, very close. Boom, actually they're oysters. Dexter's on it. Yeah, I know, he just like jumped out of there. We were done guessing, but he guessed anyway. But yeah, so you're both right. Oysters, you got it. So these are oyster farmers. Is anyone's family a farmer here? Not of oysters, but of farming something else? Kind of?
I live under the egg crate, so we do some farming.
Farm, what do you farm? All right, so here they grow vegetables. You go out in the field, you put like tractor, you plow the ground, plant the vegetables they grow. There, they go out on the ocean. They plant oysters, like little tiny ones, in these baskets right here. So there's a big basket. They fill it full of these little tiny, small little oysters, and they're maybe called seeds or spits. What's the word for them? I forget. And then they grow into big oysters. So every day these guys will go out. They'll come up on this. This is a big line of the ocean here. It's actually like algae on the line. So these baskets come up. They haul them out. They check them. They dump the oysters in here. Take them back to this big boat. They spin them in a circle. And they separate them to different sizes, and as they grow, they go into different groups, and the bigger groups go here, like the grade 5 group, the grade 7 group, the grade 9 group. Not that we'd be harvesting grade 5s, but. And then they get bigger and bigger, and then they become giant oysters that you would see maybe at the store. So this is what it looks like. So these are like rows, so you have like a row of carrots here, like a row of potatoes, or a row of vegetables, whatever your family's growing. These are rows of oysters growing out in the ocean. Very cool. So they have this one little boat that goes ahead and checks it all. The other boat pulls the oysters up out of the water. They dig them out, sort them all around. And I might have a picture. No, I do not have the picture of it. Has anyone here ever eaten an oyster?
It's gross.
You have? What, like the raw, like open up? And? It was all right? Yeah? You've had oyster too?
Yeah.
And? How'd you think? What'd you think of it? It's good? The cooked one or the raw one?
Raw.
Raw? You've had oyster too?
I've had cooked and raw, and they're both disgusting.
Yeah, so there's a little, so even on that boat, I was on the boat with oyster farmers, and I love them, and the guy who was the farmer loved them, but the other guys who work on the boat, not all of them love, they're like, they weren't necessarily loving the oyster.
I've had cooked and raw. I love them. They're amazing.
You love them? Yeah, it's cool.
Good.
Yeah, so it's for sure, I feel like an acquired taste. I had it, I liked it, not everyone does, maybe you had it a few times, you might change your mind, but you can go to, let's say like there's a place called Fisherman's Pride, I think in Red Deer. You can go in there and be like, do you have Prince Edward Island oysters? You can go in there and they're like, oh, sure, try one out. Crack it open. They're really hard to open, but once you get them open, they're delicious.
I also had oyster like mussels.
Mussels?
Yeah.
And?
They're all so gross.
You do not like seafood.
Okay, so I blanked these two out, and we're gonna try and guess if anyone knows what this place is and what this place is. You, sir?
Like the bigger one, I think it's Newfoundland.
Not quite.
Labrador?
Labrador is the bigger one, probably because you saw the sea above it. Anyway, that's Labrador, yeah. And the other one is Newfoundland. So, same thing, a little bit reversed. And so they kind of bundle these together. If you're looking on a map, they call it Newfoundland and Labrador, although they're two very different places. And did we already go? Anyone been to Newfoundland or Labrador before? You been there?
Yeah.
Was your family from the East Coast or something? You seem to know a lot about the.
No, we went on a trip about when I was 8.
Oh, okay. And you remembered like quite a bit of it.
You just went to
Yeah.
up to Quebec, then you went to Nova Scotia and went on a ferry up to Newfoundland.
You guys drove the whole way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That sounds like a pretty good trip, actually.
Will's the traveler of our group. He
Oh,
also
sweet.
went on a 3-week Antarctic cruise.
You went on a 3 Antarctic cruise?
I've seen Argentina and Chile.
Cool. Very cool places. I have not been to Antarctica, so I'm a little bit jealous. It's Will?
Yeah.
Will. Pretty cool, Will. And your family takes you on all these little adventures?
Well, on the trip that I just went on to Antarctica, I went to Ontario to see my grandparents.
Yeah.
So that was a solo
Yeah. You went by yourself to Ontario?
Yeah. And then I went with my grandparents downtown Antarctica.
Your grandparents are like, hey, Will, you want to go to Antarctica? Let's go check out the penguins.
He's also
Cool. If your grandparents need to take anyone else on any of these trips, tell them to call me. I'm in. I can be a very good grandchild. No problem.
Call me Will.
Cool. So back to my original question. Anyone been to Newfoundland or Labrador? Well, maybe. Anybody else? Nobody? Nobody?
I've been to Newfoundland.
You've been to Newfoundland? Did you drive out there or did you fly there? Yeah, from here or from somewhere else? Yeah. And did you like it or were you like this big?
I was like that tall.
No, so you don't remember the fine details of it?
Not really.
Cool place. Newfoundland's a very cool place. Very different than here. So yeah, so here it is, Newfoundland, Labrador. So to get there, you have to either fly in or take a ferry. There's no bridge, it's a long ways away. The ferry, I can't remember how long it was, but it was long. I can't remember if it was like 14 hours or something like that. Long ways to get there, but a very cool place. Also very different than here. People from Newfoundland, they get the nickname Newfies once in a while. Very friendly bunch of people, very happy-go-lucky. I can't speak for the whole culture, but everyone I met is usually like very, very fun to be around. Do a lot of fishing. And they have very thick accents. Has anyone ever spoken to someone from Newfoundland before and heard them talk? They have like a really...
Miss Youngest, I think.
Yeah, so it's almost like Australian. They sound a little more Irish actually, because they immigrated over from Ireland, got stuck halfway, ended up here. So they have like super thick, heavy, almost like Irish accents. And when I was there, I was speaking to them and I'm like, are we supposed speaking English? Because I couldn't quite make the words out, but it's English, same language, just very cultural. Evelyn?
The grade 3 teacher,
Everly?
Miss Young, she's from Newfoundland.
Oh, really? Oh, and does she have an accent, do you notice at all? No? Maybe she's been here for a while. Yeah, pretty good. Yes, sir.
So, like, in like a couple months from now, from like Edmonton or Calgary at airport,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go to Toronto. Then I'm gonna go to Ireland for a wedding in a castle.
Oh, cool. You should wear like a little prince outfit or something. So you feel like kind of royal, like a little king's crown or something like that. Kind of nice. So this is Newfoundland. So they eat a lot of fish in Newfoundland, tons of fish. Question A, does anyone know who this is? A little bit tricky to see with the lighting. Does anyone know who this lady is? Can you recognize her at all? Does she look like anyone in this room? It's not Mrs. T. No, no, it's not her. Does she look like anyone in this room? Oh, yeah, go for it.
Her sister?
Her sister, you got it. This is her sister, Angie, who doesn't know I have the slide up today of her. Oh, back a second. Sorry. Oh, there we go.
Is that a mask?
So
Is that a large mouse?
that's her sister. That's Mrs. T's other Mrs. T. And so this is a fish there that they eat a lot of in Newfoundland. Does anyone know what it is? Yeah.
Is it a striped bass?
No, but they do have lots of bass actually. When I was in PEI, I caught some bass there. So they might have Newfoundland too, I don't know, but this one isn't. Nope, not a bass. No basses.
Catfish?
No catfishes.
I was just gonna say salmon.
Salmon, no, salmon. I don't know if they have salmon on that side. I think they're only from on the west side. Yeah. Pike, no, pike are more around here. Anyway, that is a cod. So cod, if you ever had like fish and chips or something, there's lots of cod in there. Yeah, big fish. They catch lots of them out there. It's one of the main industries is fishing. Catch tons of fish, turn to fish and chips, sell it across the world. Very delicious. Question related to cod?
No, but I did catch a 13.5-inch rainbow trout.
Unrelated, but good story. Thank you for this information. So yeah, we did some cod fishing there. Super cool place if you ever get the chance to go there. So this guy's name is Todd. He's a fisherman, took us out for the day. So Todd's gonna show us how to make an interesting dish here that you probably never had either. So they take the cod out to shore. This is Todd's place in the back here. We stayed with him for about 10 days. That's actually the motorbike right there. And you can kind of spot the little dirt bike. So Todd cleans up the fish. He takes out the fillets. I'm sure you guys' parents have been fishing before. You've probably been fishing. You probably have fish.
I've caught a
Take it apart.
I've caught a fish with like the hook
And then,
attached to the side of its body. Like that.
but I bet you of all the fishing you've done, you've probably never eaten this Newfoundland dish.
Is that fish lumps?
That is not fish lungs. Guess?
Is it like frog legs?
Well, no, it's equally as different, but not the legs. Yeah,
Is it the tail?
not the tail.
Is it part of the fish?
It is definitely part of the fish. So this dish is called, do you have a question? Do you want to have a guess? No, just like.
Is it the swim lab?
So this is called, they call the dish cod tongue and britches is what they call it. So what it is these part here, they call it the tongue of the fish. So it's not the tongue, fish is actually a tongue, but right underneath here, and this little spot right here, they take it out and there's a little meaty spot and they call it a tongue. So they batter it and they fry it up. And then this part here, they call the britches because when you cook it up, it balloons up and looks like a little pair of pants or like a little pair of britches, but it's actually, no, it's actually the female egg sac where all the fish eggs are kept. So this is like full of like thousands of little caviars, yeah, little fish eggs in there. And so they take it, you bet, cool, like you would eat this? Yeah, no, okay, good answer. Yeah, so they take it, yeah. So it's like the frog, who had the frog egg? Was that you? Sorry, what's your name again? Wes? Yeah, Wes, you had the frog egg, right? Yeah, so it's like a bazillion little frog eggs, but like tiny, 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 tiny is what's inside of there. So they take it, they put a little flour on it, put it in a pan with some butter, they fry it up, and then you eat the dish. It's called frog tongue. It's called cod tongue and britches. Yeah, there's eggs in there. Yeah, it's full of eggs. So you eat like, yeah, we ate it. Yeah, totally. I ate this for breakfast one morning. A couple mornings. So they go there, you go fishing at like 4 in the morning, come back in, cook it up, and then you have the cod tongue and britches. Yes, sir. Cod tongue? I don't know if you would, I don't know how well it would travel. This is super fresh, so maybe, I guess if you catch the plane in the morning, you're back in the night, it's probably fine. But I feel like it doesn't have a long shelf life. Just a guess. So from here, this little road trip didn't go exactly in order because I was trying to beat winter. So I actually drove from here over to BC and then up to here and then over here, drove over here and then turned around and drove all the way back here to this place. Anyone know where this place is? You have your hand up, so I'm going to disqualify the answer, but yeah. Yukon. Yeah, good answer. You got it. You got it though. Yeah, so the Yukon. Anyone here been to the Yukon before? Anybody? You been to the Yukon? Yeah.
Because my auntie lives there.
Oh really? Do you know where she lives? She lives in like Whitehorse or something? Oh yeah, cool. Did you guys drive there?
We drove there once, and
Yeah.
then we flew there the other time.
And how did you feel about Whitehorse or the drive? What did you think of the?
It's cool because there's like trees everywhere, and there's way more animals.
Yes, tons of animals. Yeah, it's very, so this is the, I'm pretty sure the stat is correct. I think this is the least populated place in the entire country is this area right here, the Yukon. So it's maybe not the biggest province. Obviously Quebec is the biggest and then Ontario and then I believe Northwest Territories. It's not the biggest place, but it has the least amount of people, but it is beautiful. Tons of forest, tons of wilderness, tons of outside stuff. When I drove there, I probably saw like 8 or 9 bears while I was up there, lots of deer, tons of bird life. It's amazing. If you ever get the chance to go there, I'd recommend going up here to Whitehorse for sure if given the chance. And you can drive through northern BC. It's beautiful, great place. And up there, there's also a large number of indigenous people who live up there. And so I met this lady here. Her name's Crystal. She took me out and she wanted to teach me how to make a local medicine. So if they're sick up there, they have like a stomach ache or maybe they're not feeling well, they'll make like a sort of herbal teas or different drinks to drink. And so these are actually wild cranberries. And so there's a cranberry bush in the back behind her here. It's obviously fall, beautiful time of year. And they'll make the cranberry, there we go, medicine. And so they take it, excuse me, and they
have to be wild cranberries. They can't be like grown.
yeah, it has to be wild. Yeah, this is specifically a high bush cranberry is what it is, which is not the ones you get at the store. The ones at the store, I don't know what they are. They're cranberries, but I don't know what variety. But this is a high bush cranberry. So the good part about these is that when you boil them up and you can maybe add a little something to it, like maybe a little sugar or something that tastes pretty good. But when you pick them off the tree, they smell like dirty feet. They smell awful, so it's gross, so it's terrible. You put it in your hand, you're supposed to eat it, and you're like, it smells brutal. But once it's in the pot and it's boiled up and it's with some other herbs and stuff, it's quite delicious actually. And so they'll drink that if they have like a sore stomach or something along those lines to make themselves feel better. And it's like a natural medicine. So where you might go to the store and be like, can I have some buckwheat or can I have I don't know, a Tums or something like that. They would go and they would just make up a natural medicine from this high bush cranberry recipe. Very cool actually. And that's what it is when it's done. So it's just like a pink drink. It looks almost like Kool-Aid when it's all said and done. And then I put it on a little block with a bit of leaves to make it look more attractive. Yeah, like pink lemonade. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. And then last but not least, does anyone know where this is? Alberta.
Can I ask you?
Canada. Well, the province is called Alberta. What's your favorite place in Alberta? Anyone? Anyone? At the back of the room? Rocky Mountains.
Rocky Mountains.
Rocky Mountains.
Actually, I like Rocky Mountains.
Clive? Oh, good answer. Oh, pretty good.
Right now.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Victoria's your favorite place in Alberta? Victoria's actually in BC, but it is a beautiful place. But yes, Victoria is a great place. What's your favorite place in Alberta? You can go twice. Like the mountains, Calgary. You can say Clive too if you want to. Lacombe. Well, you think about it, and then you can yell out again when you have your hand up. You can guess twice. Yep.
Waterton.
Oh, Waterton's a great place. Good answer. Yeah.
My house.
Your house? Good answer. Good one. Yeah. I don't even know if I should go. You've gone so many times. Yes, Dexter. Edmonton. Cool. Yeah.
Calgary.
Cool. Calgary. Yeah.
Lake Louise.
Lake Louise. Great place.
I was going to say Calgary.
Calgary. That's great. You can say the same. You have different places. Yeah, for sure. Did you already go?
Yeah, but I have like.
Oh, you said Rocky
another
Mountains.
place. I have like
I have another place. Yeah, sure. What is it?
It's like a lake where there's like bubbles. I had it in a.
Oh, by Lake Louise or by Nordic.
I have it in a book on my computer,
Yeah.
and like I've skated there with my dad's side of my family.
Yeah. Oh, pretty cool. And we'll do like 3 more. Yeah.
Clearwater River.
Of course. Cool. Yeah. Great.
Cabela's.
The store Cabela's?
Okay, that's true.
Good one. Good one. Yes. West. Yeah. Canada's a great place. Yeah.
Edmonton, Calgary, and
Oh, 2 big cities and a little town. Great place. Yeah. Lacombe and Edmonton. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Great. And sure to go. Nope.
Cold Lake.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Long ways away. Yeah.
well, I like Edmonton.
Yeah.
Calgary.
Well, great. Good answer. Yeah. You already went? And did you already go yet? Nope. Silver Lake, cool place. Yeah, great. Yeah, good answer. So one of the traditions of, one of the main things we do in Alberta is we like to have a good time. And so if anyone recognizes anyone in this picture at a traditional, everyday Alberta dinner, let me know.
Oh my gosh.
Anybody? It's Mrs. T. It's me just enjoying a regular afternoon with Mrs. T, her sister, me, and their friend.
It's the Stanley Cup.
It's a Stanley Cup, you bet. That was a Stanley Cup. So it's just a regular day in Alberta, just hanging out with your friends.
Misty's like, don't make Misty angry or she'll turn you into a frog.
Good guess. So that was a quick overview of some very interesting places around Canada. I know we did like, that was like way more. I wasn't planning on doing questions the whole time, but it worked out pretty good.
What is that?
This is a microphone, also known as an interviewing stick. And I'm gonna just see, I think we already answered like a bazillion questions, but if you have any other questions. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. If anyone has any questions related to the Canadian topic, Canadian foods, or anything I talked about in the last 45 minutes,
He's going to interview quiet, hands up.
now's the chance. I think you're actually first. Yes, sir. Say your name and then what's your question?
My name's William, and where were you when you went on the ferry to Newfoundland?
Newfoundland? Yeah, you said West, right? Yeah, West. Great question, West. So, Will. Sorry, West. Yeah, West. Will. Sorry. Yeah.
He's West and he's West.
Will. Yeah. So when I went on the ferry to Newfoundland, we left from just outside Cape Breton. I can't remember the name of the town specifically, but you leave Cape Breton and then you drive sort of over this little body of water, and there's a little ferry port there, and then you catch over with. So yeah, great question. You get Welsh's. Excellent question. Yes, ma'am. Say your name and what's your question?
My name's Ivy, and have you ever been to Kelowna?
Great question, Ivy. Yes, I have been to Kelowna. I have some friends there. Great place. I think I'm actually be back there this summer. Great place. Really nice. Great part of the world. Anybody else? Yes, back of the room. What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Nathan, and what's your favorite food?
Ooh, Nathan. Ooh, that's a really hard one. Ooh, Nathan. Wow. I'll have to think about that one. So there's a lot of things. Oh man, there's so many things I like to eat. Oh, that's a tricky one. I would say that my favorite sort of cultural food, I would probably say, is maybe Mexican food. I really like it. And then maybe to make it like kind of simple, I would say probably just like tacos are one of my favorite foods. However, I will say one more thing as well, that there's an experience, like an experiential type of food they do in Argentina called an asado. And so it's like a barbecue, basically. And so they take and they'll build a big fire, and then they'll put like a whole sheep or lamb or something like that, and they'll barbecue it on the side of the fire, and it takes the whole day. You're like roasting with your friends and having a little party and eat it. And that is a very cool way to eat. It's very entertaining, but I would say, yeah, Mexican's probably my favorite. Great question. From this side of the room? Yes.
What was
Name and question.
My name's Lexi, and what was your favorite state, country to go?
Favorite country to go to? Lexi, you said? Lexi, ooh, that's a good one. Oh man, I love the planet. There's so many interesting places to see. So I would say it's all good. I mean, if you ever get the chance to go with your family, your friends, or exchange student or something, I would highly recommend going somewhere else in the world just to see how people live and what different cultures they do or what different cultural things they do, different languages. I would say that maybe in this part of the world, I wish your little friend was here, but I would say Bolivia is a very interesting place. It's so different than here. It's just a very different culture, different people, different way of life. They speak Spanish, but it's a little bit different Spanish. It's great. And then I would say probably maybe in Africa, for example. I really liked South Africa. It was a great place. They have tons of animals, tons of wildlife, and just walking around as giraffes and lions and hippos, and it was great. It was amazing. It's such a great part of the world just to see that all the stuff you might see in a zoo here, for example, that you would see just running around there. So great, good question, Lexi, really good. Anyone from that cluster at the back there? Anybody? You, sir, what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Corbin. And
Corbin?
Which country would you like to go to?
Where I'd like to go that I haven't been to? Ooh, if I was given the opportunity to go on a plane somewhere tomorrow, for example, I would probably, I've never been to the Middle East, these areas over here, Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, Afghanistan, those sort of the Stan region here. I'd really like to go there. It's very different than here too, and I've never been. And I've only seen it sort of on the news or in other people's travel sort of pictures and blogs, so I would like to go there for sure. Great question. Do you like these? Sure. And this group next, maybe. Name and question, sir?
Hi, my name is Axton, and
Axton?
yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite flag?
Favorite flag? Oh, wowzers. Well, yeah. Good one. Yeah, Canadian flag is pretty cool. There's some super interesting flags around the world, though. There's definitely some.
My favorite flag is.
Yeah. What's your favorite flag? Okay, you go.
The Ireland flag.
Ireland?
Irish flag.
Are you Irish? You kind of have a little tinge of red, and yeah. Okay, you actually look a little Irish. So good. Good one. Great question. This you have something on it? Yes, sir. What's your name? What's your question?
Where was the
Name first.
Andrew?
Andrew, great.
And where was what was the favorite thing what was the most interesting thing you've seen on your trip?
Good question, Andrew.
Oh, Andrew, that's a tough one. Most interesting thing I've ever seen? Holy, that's a really good question. I have seen. Man, there's been some really interesting moments. I would say I'm going to go back to maybe the African thing for a minute. So I was in South Africa and Namibia, the southern part of the continent of Africa with my wife on a honeymoon. And we had a truck, we had to drive around and kind of see everything. And on one night we camped in the bush, sort of you were camping here with your family. We're camping, we're making dinner, and there's a small body of water in front of us. And as the sun's coming down, there was a family of elephants that came over and up to the water, and they were drinking, maybe from here to the end of the hallway away from us, drinking and having dinner together and hanging out and trumpeting up the water in the air. And that was pretty cool to see live, actually. So I'd say that was one of the neater things. Yeah, a little shower, that sort of deal. So we did this. Have we done every cluster so far? Yep. Okay, let's do random. Yes, sir. What's your question? What's your name?
My name's Porter, and what's your favorite animal?
Porter? My favorite animal? I would say, do you know what a platypus is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the platypus is pretty cool. Have you ever seen a platypus at the zoo or anything? Yeah, super, it's the craziest animal. It looks like 5 animals in one. Yeah, it's a duck, it's a beaver, it's a muskrat. It's like everything. It's someone could make up their mind, they're let's make it this. So yeah, great question. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Back on the corner over here. Yes, sir. What's your name? What's your question?
My name's Caden, and did you, when you go around the world and you meet different nations, did you ever, do any, archery or anything like that?
Archery specifically? Let me think about if I did any archery in different parts of the world. I would say the closest thing I maybe did to archery recently is we were in Fiji just a couple months ago. And I did some spear fishing, so under the water, shooting, but not necessarily with a bow. And so you had to like swim around, and you had to chase the fish, and you had to try to shoot it. Did you get candy? Yeah? All right, you're good. And so that's like the closest thing I've done to archery. Are you into archery? Is that your jam? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it's cool. So it's good. So it was hard. It was underwater is tricky. It's a hard one. So if you ever have the chance to try archery under the water, like spearfishing, give it a go. Totally. Did you already get a candy? Not yet? No? Name and question? We don't know if your name already,
My name's Wes, and have you been to Alaska?
Alaska, great question, Wes. I have not been to Alaska yet. I got pretty close. I went to the Yukon here. I could just see it over there, but I have not been yet, but I really want to go. So it's super close by. Beautiful place. I haven't been there. Have you been there? No? You should go. You should go, and I should go, and we should compare stories afterwards, because it's probably like super cool place. Name and question.
My name's Maddox, and what was your favorite attraction?
Favorite attraction?
Yeah.
Favorite attraction. Well, let's see. I was in Nicaragua, actually with Mrs. T's sister. And Nicaragua is in here, right in the kind of Central America.
The little pink thing?
Yeah, that is, where's Costa Rica? Is that Costa Rica? If that's Costa Rica, that's Nicaragua.
Zoom in.
Having a tricky time making them out on the map. Anyways, so they had like a carnival set up there. Like you ever been to like Western days or something like that? Yeah, so like kind of like that. Yeah, so like Clive days, except for it was a little more South Central America style. So a little more risky. So the ride, you can see the ride's like kind of shaking and shattering a bit, like maybe they're gonna fall apart. There wasn't like the bars on the front to keep you in. There wasn't like the safety belt on the things that spin around. Instead of shooting like a cork gun, you would shoot like a .22 kind of thing. Like there's a lot less rules than there was here. So it was just neat to see the way they do it there, because it was very different than here. There was way less rules and a little less concern for like safety. So I would say it was definitely maybe not my most favorite attraction, but it was definitely one I won't forget, because it was a little different than here.
Would you sleep in Nicaragua?
Which time? Which one are you referencing? Which one? Oh yeah, so Nicaragua, we actually slept in a treehouse. So like we actually like rented, like you could rent a treehouse and like sleep up in the trees, kind of like that. It was pretty cool actually. You're like just way up in the bush and like looking over the ground. Pretty neat. It's like your dream as a kid, but as like a grown up. You didn't go yet?
Yes, you have. I have.
Okay, well then we're past you up. You went already. Everly, I want to get this right this time. Everly, yeah, great. Everly.
I'm Everly, and what was the most interesting person that you saw?
Most interesting person that I saw? Met some pretty neat people, actually. So there's a guy. So I went up here.
Todd?
So this guy, no, his name's not Todd. His name's 𝗔𝗯cie 𝗂𝘁. So have you ever done anything about the Amazon rainforest? Have you guys learned about the Amazon rainforest?
I learned about that in
Yeah.
grade 3.
So it was great. It was amazing. So I went to the Amazon rainforest on my bike. On that bike, drove up there. I came in through Peru and then crossed in through this area over here, and then into Brazil and up there into Amazon rainforest. Actually, my motorcycle broke down up there. I broke the back shock. I couldn't go anywhere. I was stranded up there for a month. I met this guy named 𝗔𝗯cie 𝗂𝘁. One of the craziest people I've ever met in my life. Very interesting, crazy personality. So he grew up in the Amazon. He's a guide now. He shows people around.
A tourist?
And you take people, you take like tourists around. And so you take you out into the jungle and just like show you the snakes, and like they have these fish there it's called a 𝗔𝗁𝘂𝗁. It's like this giant, enormous fish that lives in the rivers up there. Super crazy. Take you out and show you like some of the natural medicines. Maybe I'll just pass over the name of the one, but he was definitely, I would say, one of the most interesting people I've ever met. And he was just like, maybe you've heard your parents use the term like a character. Like he's just a really different guy. Just different, let's put it that way. He's a super different guy, but very friendly. And those people I kind of found are all over the planet, just in different forms. So he was definitely a very, very cool, interesting dude. Have you got a candy yet? You go first.
I just have another question. Have you been to the cemetery where they buried all the famous people in Argentina?
No, I don't think so. No, why have you?
Yes.
Oh, sounds a little crazy. Did you get a candy already?
Yeah.
Yeah? Would you like to ask a question, sir? Not yet? All right, we'll come back to you. You got a candy already? You got a candy already? Yeah, all right, sorry, let's keep you over then. You got a candy already? You didn't get a candy yet? All right, name, question?
Oh, it wasn't a question. Wait.
You already had a question.
Did you go fishing when you?
Oh, you just did archery with you like 2 seconds ago. Sorry, I have to come back to you later. Lots of candies to hand out. Yes, ma'am. Name and question.
So my name's Mila, and did
Mila?
you get to
Oh, cool name.
And did you get to play any like international games or something, whatever they're called?
Games like a sport or like a
Like sports, like lacrosse, hockey, basketball.
Yeah, like games, just any games.
any games? Yeah. So I was in Ecuador. Pretty cool place. Way down here, Ecuador. So it's called Ecuador because it borders the equator, Ecuador. And I'm going through the jungle. Really interesting. And I'm staying with a local like tribal family who lives in the jungle. Very cool. They like grew up in the jungle. Very interesting lifestyle. And so the people I stayed with was actually the principal of the school. I stayed at his house. He took me to meet the school the next day. No, the school in Ecuador. This little village, the whole school was maybe 80 or 100 people. Took me there, and they were having a soccer tournament that weekend I was there. And so I went there to play like soccer with them, which was fine. But compared to the locals who grew up playing soccer, I was terrible. I wasn't any good at it at all. And so it was an interesting experience. I got to play some sort of international games like soccer, they call it football, that kind of thing. So it was good, but I was no good. I obviously looked very out of place and very untalented, but they were great to watch. So it was good. Good, nice work. Have you want to ask a question yet? Not yet? Yet? All right, we'll come back to you. If you think of one, put your hand up and we'll go. You got a candy yet? No? All right, name and question.
My name's Hunter, and what was your favorite culture?
Favorite culture? There's like so many different cultures out there. I would say I kind of like the fun ones. So there's some definitely more fun cultures around the world. So usually the Latinos I find are really fun. So for example, Mexicans and Colombians. And so I was in Colombia, which is like right up there. And they like to have a good time. And so if it's like someone's like 3rd birthday or 30th birthday or 80th birthday, it doesn't really matter. They like to put on a big feast for all the neighbors and all the friends. They put up big speakers. There's dancing in the streets. And it's just like everything's like a little festival. They like to have a great time. So I'd say the Colombians, that's a good culture. If you ever have a chance to hang out with some Colombians, super nice people, and they like to have a good time. Great question. Great question. Cool. Yeah, it's great. You went, did you get candy yet? Really? That's shocking. Yes, Dexter.
My name is Dexter, and what is your favorite town?
Favorite town? Favorite town. There's been some pretty interesting towns. So, there's a place in Peru over here, which you've probably heard of. I won't say the name quite yet. But in Peru, you can go to this very famous place by a couple options. You can either take a train there or you can hike there. But you can drive really close to it. It's called Machu Picchu. Anyone ever heard of Machu Picchu before? Yeah, probably.
Is that like outside the mountain and there's like
It's like a big mountain where there's like
It's like mountains. Yeah, it's like it's big mountains all up, way up high in the sky, and there's like a town built like inside of the mountains, like it was meant to be a fortress kind of thing. That's super cool.
Yeah, I've heard of rocks.
A slide? Probably. I don't know for sure, but I would assume so. It's a great place. So you can drive pretty close to there, to a place called Aguas Calientes is the name of the place. And then that is a pretty cool town. It's way up in the mountains. It's really close to a very famous, very popular place, but just far enough away that not a lot of people go there. And so we went there. I went there with Mrs. T's sister, actually. It's pretty cool. That's one of my favorite towns, I would say, for sure. Great question, Dexter. I saw your hand up. You have a question now? Come back to you. Name, please.
Emery. And what was your
Emery?
favorite?
Yeah,
and
cool.
What was the favorite food that you ate on your trip?
Favorite food?
That you ate on your trip.
That you ate.
Should I do the weird food story or not? Okay. Okay, who's got time for a quick story? You guys do? Great.
No.
Right, how much time we got right now? We got a little bit of time left? We're good. Okay, so I will answer that question with a picture, because I brought a picture. So one of the most interesting foods I ever ate, was in Peru. So in Peru, just like here, they eat things that you might not find different because you're from here, but they might find kind of strange because they're from there. They don't eat the same foods. For example, if you went to say India, for example, you couldn't get a beef burger. You couldn't go to McDonald's and get yourself a burger. They don't eat beef there. And so you'd be like, what? They don't eat beef here? And they would think it was really weird that you wanted beef because they don't think you should eat beef. A little more sacred animal. So in Peru, oh, that's the asado? Who asked about the barbecue? That's the asado I was talking about, like the big racks of meat. So
They eat those.
in Peru, they eat
Nice.
Guinea pig.
I knew that.
So like we grow chickens here, they grow. So kind of like we grow chickens here, they grow guinea pigs there, and it's like a very popular and very like sought after meal. So that instead of fried chicken, they have fried guinea pig. Sorry, I hate to break it to you, but in different parts of the world, they eat different cuisines, and in in Peru, that's one of the things they eat. And so I wouldn't necessarily say it was by any means my most favorite dish, but it was definitely one of the most memorable things I've personally ever eaten. And I tried to explain to the people there that if you were to eat that dish here, you would probably go to jail. And that would be like them coming to your house and seeing you eat Kentucky Fried Chicken and being like, oh my God, if you eat Kentucky Fried Chicken at my place, you go to jail. And you'd be like, what? It's just Kentucky Fried Chicken. But they're like, what? It's just like, yeah, just look at the chicken. They're like, oh, it's just guinea pig. And they eat it at like a special, not a very special occasion like Christmas. They eat it maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks, but often enough that it's a regular thing to eat. So yeah, not my most favorite, but definitely one of the ones I won't forget. I won't leave it on that slide. I'll change it. But yeah, so great question. So if you go home tonight and your mom asks, what did you learn? You say, we learned to eat guinea pig. I wouldn't lead with that story. Maybe say you learned about maple syrup or something instead. Yeah, good. So you had a question. You already got candy or no?
No.
You didn't get candy, really? All right, what's your name? What's your question?
My name's Allison, and I have kind of like a two-part question.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the craziest animal you've seen, and what's the craziest food you've eaten?
Well, it's two. Okay, I'll make them really quick then. So craziest animal I've ever seen? I don't know if it was the craziest animal I ever saw per se, but what was happening was kind of crazy. So I was in Costa Rica one time, and you know what sloth is or no?
Yeah.
So like super slow, and then they climb up a tree. It looks like they're sleeping all the time, whatever. I saw a sloth swimming through the ocean, which I thought was very unusual. It looked very unnatural. I didn't know they swam, so it's like kind of like slowly like making its way through the ocean. And we were with another guy, and this guy actually like rescued the sloth because I was drowning. So he pulled it up on the shore, brought it in, put it up on a tree, and then a local person, a local Costa Rican, came over and was like, what are you doing? It's like, sloth can swim. I didn't know a sloth could swim. I thought they were out of there. So we thought we were actually helping the sloth, but we were actually making its life worse. So I learned in nature, you just leave nature alone. Nature knows what it's doing. It's fine. And your next question was, what's craziest food?
Yeah.
Well, that was the craziest food for sure. But I'd say on top of that, maybe in Thailand, we tried a bunch of different things like different bugs, like beetles and grasshoppers and spiders. They fry them up in a pan. So it was like, that was kind of unusual. At the time, I thought it was kind of crazy, but now I wouldn't feel quite the same. But yeah, it was good. Good. It's good. There you go. No, not a lot. You went this whole table went already. You do it. You haven't gone yet, have you? Nope. What's your name, ma'am? What's your question?
Lindsay, and what's your favorite place in Alberta?
Favorite place in Alberta? Ooh, that's a good question too. So aside from my house, I would say that in Alberta, I really like the area just like west, maybe like Rocky Mountain House or Sundre, like out in the mountains there, where it's all wildernessy and wild. There's like wild horses and bears and deer and that kind of thing. It's kind of like nature-y. So I'd say like actually not far from here. It's probably my favorite place in Alberta just because I like being outside and outdoors. What about you? What's your favorite place in Alberta?
The Rocky Mountains.
Rocky Mountains? Yeah, no, it's so nice. We're so lucky to have the Rocky Mountains here. If you lived in, say, maybe like Manitoba, for example, or something like that, beautiful place, but they don't have mountains. So if you like the mountains, you're like, oh, the mountains, that's so great. So it's a good place to go. You went already. Did you go?
I have not gone.
Not yet? Okay, well, if you think of one, let me know. You already went? You already went?
I haven't gone.
You haven't gone yet? Great. Name and question, please.
Okay. My name is Alexis, and I wanted to know what is your favorite province that you've been in Canada? What's your favorite province?
Alexa, favorite province. Oh, sorry, Alexis. Sorry, Alexis. Like Alexis. Alexis, got it. In Canada, Canada has a lot of great choices, and each one is like so different and so good. But I would say, based on originality, for me personally, I thought Quebec was pretty cool. Just because, for me, it was so different than everywhere else. Just because the language is a huge one. Sorry. And their culture, they're very like French-based, so they do lots of like sort of French-influenced things.
I just wanted to say, when
Yeah.
Caden asked this question, you didn't give him Welch's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He said
you didn't get a Welch's? Oh my
He didn't.
God. Good memory. Oh, I feel terrible.
Okay, go on.
Oh, all right, you get two then. Oh, sorry. Sorry, it was totally my error. Sorry, everyone else got one. Yeah, no, you get two.
I didn't get any either.
You get two. Yeah, I saw yours. That's great. It's great. Yeah, sorry, I didn't even realize. I skipped on over you there. Jeez Louise, terrible. So, Everyone has a question.
Who has not asked a question yet that has a question?
You have a question now? Oh, great. Here we go. Yes, sir. What's your question? What's your name? What do you want to know?
My name's Gunnar, and what was your favorite bike that you had?
Bike?
Yeah.
Gunnar?
Yeah.
Cool name, Gunnar. Do you have a bike at all? Do you have a motorbike? Your parents or anybody? No? So, I've owned a few motorcycles now. I think I've had a couple, but I would say for sure, without question, it would be this bike that I took on this trip. Just because we spent like so much, like I spent like a lot of time. So maybe you have like a favorite hat, or maybe you have like a favorite, I don't know if you play hockey, like a favorite jersey or something like that. I spent like 2.5 years, just me and this bike and the monkey, just the three of us, like alone, like every day. It was like, this is like my best friend for like 2.5 years. So I'd say like for sure, that was like definitely my favorite bike for sure. And when you asked earlier where it was, and it's in Argentina, that was like, it was an awful day. I cried for like 3 days after I left the bike behind. But yeah, great question. Good question. Anybody else? Anybody else? You want to ask a question? Mr. Glasses? Anything at all?
Oh, Jackson
Nope.
have a question.
Jackson.
I have a very important
Very question. Everyone, let's make sure everyone's going yet.
I got 125.
Jackson, if you ask me what my name is, I'll give you a candy.
I have one that's very important.
All right, well, if you can catch her, I'll give you a candy anyways. Oh, pretty close. Okay, so everyone's gone at least once. I'm gonna let Mrs. T determine if we're gonna do any more questions or what the timeline is.
Okay. We'll do, okay, if you have your hand up right now, you can take your question.
So there's 6.
Wes, Axton, Alexis, Ivy, F. Nathan. Okay, Wes?
When I went to Mexico, like maple syrup, like a bottle, like your normal ones you get in the store, they were like $40 American.
Yeah, probably, because they're imported. It's super like, super crazy expensive. Did you guys buy some?
Yeah.
No, probably not, because you're like, we have that stuff in our fridge at home and it was like $9. Mm.
Okay, Axton.
Have you ever been to Greenland?
Greenland, no, but great question actually, and good story. So I met some Greenlanders. I don't have any Greenland friends until recently, but I actually met some Greenlanders recently. Now friends was at their place for dinner actually a couple weeks ago. And we talked a lot about Greenland, and Greenland has a very cool culture, very different way of life. So she's actually indigenous also, different indigenous than here, different kind of people. There's like 3 tattoos down her chin here. Very interesting lady. Talked about how when she grew up, she never ate vegetables as a kid. Where she grew up, there was no vegetables. It was too cold. They couldn't plant them. If they imported them, they cost a lot. So if her mom went to buy like a tomato from the store, it'd be like a $10 tomato. You want bananas, like $10 bananas. So they never, she's like, as a kid, I didn't eat vegetables, we ate meat. And so they ate a lot of muskox and a lot of stuff from the sea, like lots of like fishes, that kind of thing. And I was like, what, really? So I ate tons of lots of whale, that kind of stuff, just because that was the foods that grew up, that were around where she lived, and so that's what they ate. And so I thought it was the same as you. I was like, what? You never had a vegetable till you were like 18? She's like, no, it just wasn't a thing because it was so expensive. So I haven't been there yet, but I recently have made some friends from there. I found it very interesting, and based on that experience, I would now like to go and meet their family and friends and check out. Have you been there? No?
I'm going.
You're actually going? Like you have a seat booked or something? Like
Remember I said I'm going to Ireland?
yeah, that's part of the trip is Greenland too?
Wait, Ireland? I thought Ireland wasn't Greenland.
No, Ireland is right there, if my math is correct, and it's on the way. But you could but potentially, I don't know what your route, but you might be going like along the way. That's not. It is a possibility. You could be stopping there. I don't know for sure, but it's like kind of on the way if you're going that way. But you may also just be going that way. I'm not too sure, but cool place. If you're given the opportunity, go and then tell her to tell me about it because I want to know what happened. For sure.
Alexis.
Okay.
Okay.
This is kind of really random and is not really related at all.
I expect nothing less from you. Let's hear it.
I was just going to say, have you ever heard of an animal called Huma Huma Nuku Nuku Aqua?
Huma Huma Numa Aqua Aqua?
Huma Huma Nuku Nuku Aqua.
Not.
I
I don't think so. It's a fish?
Yeah, it's a fish.
Oh, where's it come from? Or where's it at?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I think it's like the Pacific Ocean.
Is it big or little? Or
It's like about this big. It's the size of a bigger.
if you
The size of my water bottle.
if you can spell it correctly, I'll give you 2 candies right now. Let me just check. Did you get that right? Unsure. You get 1 candy.
Wait,
Interesting. Interesting.
Ivy. Oh, Ivy's got the floor.
This is a very important question.
All right, lay it on me.
What's your favorite hockey team?
Hockey team? Well, here's the thing about hockey. So I'm not super sporty. I used to play baseball as a kid. I never played hockey. I'm not even sure I could skate at this moment.
Listening.
However, I do live not far outside of Edmonton. So at the moment, and for the last number of years, I've been an Edmonton supporter, which is working out quite well in my favor right now. And these days, I would say I'm an Oilers fan. I was even wearing a jersey last night, and I was sitting beside a replica Stanley Cup.
What would be your second favorite?
Second favorite team? Well, based on my location in the world,
Colorado Avalanche.
all right.
Hey, Everly.
Did you ever have a tour
To the Green Gables house? I personally, great question, yes, didn't go through the Green Gables house, mostly because I was there in summertime. I was doing food stuff, and there was a bazillion people doing the tours through there. And so, for example, I'm not sure why, you guys probably know more than I do, but in Japan, Anna Green Gables is massive. It's like a huge, it's huge. It's like Pokemon. Yeah, in Japan. It's like a huge, it's like a big deal. And so there was like buses full of Japanese people who were there to see Anna Green Gables. And I'm like, well, if I had a choice to go on the oyster boat for the day or like wait in line to see the Gables place, I chose the oyster. And so I haven't been, but if that's your thing and you're into it, I would highly recommend going and checking it out. Even the scenery alone is beautiful. It's such like a beautiful place. And if you're into the books or the videos or the show or whatever, and you're there and to like see it live and see the red sand beach and like the beautiful ocean, the green rolling hills, the friendly people, it's pretty cool. So I've given the chance, I would go, or you should go, but I haven't gone.
I've been on a green
We'll do Nathan. Did you have your hand up, Andrew, or no?
No, and
Okay,
Dexter
Nathan
before.
and Dexter, and then we'll wrap up. Nathan.
Would you rather be able to teleport anywhere in the world, but only if you've been there, or teleport anywhere in the world, but
Well, I just said
What?
you can only do it once per 2 months?
Somewhere I've already been, or somewhere once every 2 months?
Yeah.
If I could teleport in the world, man, it'd save a lot of money, that's for sure. I would say I would probably go with the 2-month one, because I think if you got to go whenever you wanted to, the thrill would wear off, and you'd almost be like kind of like if you were spoiled. For example, if you woke up like every day in Banff, going to Banff wouldn't be that cool after a while. You'd be like, meh, I live here, it's not that great. Or if you grew up in a great place like Clive and someone's like, oh my God, we're going to Clive, you're like, yeah, I live there, it's not that exciting. So I think if I had the chance to go like every day somewhere, it wouldn't be quite as awesome as if I had to wait 2 months to go. So I would say I would choose the 2 months one. But if that becomes an option and you invent it, call me, because I want to use the teleporter.
Brazil.
Hey, Dexter, to round out our questions. Fitting.
Feeding the first 5 and the last 5. Of all the people in the room to draw a blank, I didn't think it was going to be you.
He's run out of questions.
Impossible.
What's like? Is the camera for like your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I like to make YouTube videos. So for example, on the Canada trip, I wish I'd taken a camera and videotaped all of this. I didn't, I should have, that would have been great. But I videotaped all this across Canada, all the people I met. I did like an interview with all of them. Sat down, was in their house or was in their kitchen or was in their place of business or on their boat, wherever. Interviewed all of them and then sort of videoed while I was driving through the thing. And so it's just my name. It's just Kix Marshall, just this right there, Kix Marshall, what's probably on the board. Just add Marshall.
Cooking Canada is your series, right?
Yeah, but if you just look up my name, it'll pop up. And so, yeah, so if you want to check it out, you're welcome to. It's very family friendly. It's pretty mellow. Yeah, so what I'm doing with that. And so I also record the talks to do. I've done a few talks, did one here last year. I'm doing another one this summer. And I'd like to put them up on the channel. So if anyone wants to see sort of what it looks like, then that's what I do with it. And
What are you currently writing?
yeah, so right now, so that same trip, the purpose of it was actually to write a cookbook about Canadian foods. And so the point was to write the cookbook, but on the side, and not meeting great people and doing like a video series too. But By this time next year for sure, hopefully by Christmas time, I'll have a Canadian cookbook, which I'll give one to Mrs. T, and she can put it in the classroom. And it will have pictures from this presentation, it'll have the stories from this presentation, it'll have like the recipes if you ever want to know how to smoke sea lion, or cook a muskrat tail, or eat an oyster, or make a Doukhoborian dish, or make turkey pot pies for 5,000 people. The recipe will be in that book, and Mrs. T will have a copy here. You can check it out.
And then in 10 years, you guys can read this book. It is also very, very, very good.
We could do 16.
I'm gonna buy it and then
I'll read it right now.
I'm gonna read it right now.
Okay,
My parents don't care.
what do we say to Kix?
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for coming here.
Now,